Hi guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, and I am kind of like really late to the game, but I thought I'd try out the little mini challenge where you have to build a house to a certain size. So I thought I'd start off with the 6x6 size, and from what I've seen on YouTube of other people's challenges is that some people either do it with like 2 levels or some people just stick to the one. And I went with the 2 floor levels, and to be honest, it was really easy. It didn't really feel like much of a challenge, but that's what we went with. So we have what I've done is I've got the kind of like a upside down house. We've got the living room, kitchen, upstairs, and then we've got like a really big bedroom area and then bathroom downstairs. So it turns out you end up having a lot of space. So I think if I was to do the 5x5 or the 4x4, then I might actually have to do it just on the one level, because otherwise it's not really much of a tiny house. It's kind of just a small house, if anything. But anyway, so this didn't really take me too long to build. This took me 2 hours, which I'm very proud of. Normally when I build, it will take me a good day. So I think the key is to do smaller builds that don't take too long, because I do end up finding that I waste a lot of time. And I've probably said this before, but I waste a lot of time deliberating over items that I would put in the build, and sometimes things just don't go right for me. So it means that I have to mess around with like the structure of the building. But to be honest, I think doing a house that is just a square, you're limiting yourself to what you do. So turns out that it worked very well for me. I was fairly pleased with how this turned out. I think it's a very cute little tiny house, and to be honest, I wouldn't mind living there myself. So I've had a very nice long weekend last weekend. I took the Friday and the Monday off work, and I just had a little bit of time to myself. Decided to record a couple of videos for you guys, just so there's a bit more going on to my channel next week. So yeah, we should end up having 2, hopefully, if I manage to get this edited and uploaded on time. But yeah, in the time that I had off, so in Bristol where I live, there's every year they have this little festival, or they call it Fiesta, and it's the Bristol Balloon Fiesta. And what that is that what will happen is that it's a big event which is held in one of the big houses around the city, and people with hot air balloons will all gather together and will all be let off in one go. So they have this thing called a mass ascent, and basically it's such a beautiful sight. What can I say? For anyone who lives in the UK or even around Bristol, and maybe even, from further afield, you may have heard of this, but I highly recommend it. It is one of the greatest sights I've probably ever seen in my life. Just to see like 100+ hot air balloons go off into the air, it's just amazing. I can't describe how good it is. And also they have like other bits as well. So there will be a night glow where all the balloons will be tethered to the ground, and what they do, when they like pump the fire in, they'll do that to music. So it'll go on for like around like 20 minutes or so of just these balloons lighting up to sound to like a popular song. It is probably like, one of the best things that I've seen. I'm so lucky to live in Bristol and basically just have it down the road from me. So yeah, that's what I did with my weekend. I woke up at 5:30 on Sunday morning, which, let me just say, like I'm not a morning person. I do not like waking up early. I hate it. I'm not gonna lie. Absolutely hate it. But yeah, I woke up at 5:30 to get out of bed, to climb up a massive hill just so I can see these balloons go up in the air. It was really, really cool. But anyway, so let's move on to the build a bit now. The colour theme is fairly interesting in this one. I've gone for a green and a yellow. We have the a green kitchen, which is something that I've never actually gone for before. I think it's quite effective, and I've done the little space hack again in that kitchen with the mirrors behind the cooker and against the wall for a splashback effect. But like I said, I really think it just opens up a room, and you kind of it pretty much doubles the space. So in terms of like the living space in this, we've got upstairs, we have the kitchen, a little living area with a little tiny TV. I don't always think it's like necessary to put a big TV in a room, especially if your house is tiny. But we've got like a nice little comfortable modern sofa. We've even got a computer and desk squeezed in that corner. But yeah, in terms of space in this build, it wasn't really much of a struggle. Oh, and like one of the things that I find hardest is that when you if you like level up items so that it can fit on a surface, I can never get it accurate enough. I always end up making it float, which is really annoying. But anyway, so moving on to the bedroom, and this is what I was saying about this actually being like a place that is actually really too big, and it's not really that tiny, because downstairs we managed to fit in a whole big bathroom, which I'm not gonna lie, it's like a little bit squished, but like the bathroom is like the bedroom is really, really big. You've got a lot of space, and I managed to end up fitting in a good couple of items. So yeah, the bathroom just has all the normal stuff that you would find. Putting a little plant in there just to make it a little bit more earthy. But then yeah, we just move on to the putting in the bedroom bits now, and I just want to add that I have an absolute obsession with marble. I have been buying, so I bought this little. One of the other things that I did on my long weekend is that I went to the shops and I bought a little marble lamp, which I'm absolutely in love with. I just think marble is really sophisticated and just lovely. So yeah, we use that little marble, what's it called, like little table or something, as a little headrest for the bed, and that means that we can actually quite easily just prop items on the top of it without any problems. So yeah, I think that is fairly effective. One of the troubles that I did have is just trying to fit a rug into that space without it, going into the bathroom area. But we found one in the end, which was a little bit smaller. I think items that come with The Sims, I think actually, no, a good thing that would be nice to have eventually, which I don't think will ever happen, but items such as rugs and even mirrors, it would be good to perhaps be able to resize those items by dragging them, I suppose, if that's the way you would describe it. Just so if something is like a little bit too big for the room, you can then just grab the corner and like squeeze it in a little bit, and then you don't have the problem of having like your rug, for example, going into your bathroom. So I'm just playing around with what I want in the bedroom at the moment, and everything. This is completely player tested. The makeup station works under the stairs. The sim can get into the bed from both sides. Bathroom is all usable. So yeah, now we're just moving on to the landscaping of the build. And to be honest, like this is one of the things that I always hate the most. But I find that I don't really like landscaping. I find just, like the overall look is very effective, but putting plants down and trying to arrange stuff in a way that will, look good and not just look like you've randomly plonked a bit of grass on the floor, I find that very hard. But the outside bit is just very simple. I did end up adding those little I don't know what they're called, like those wooden slat things to the outside, because those L-shaped, I added those L-shaped bits and it's just like, why? It actually adds nothing to the build. It's kind of just added as a decoration, and as if like if in the real world it would, like the house is leaning up against it. I was trying to do something a bit more creative with the outside and just make it a bit more interesting, but I don't think that's actually worked out very well. It just looks like, well, I suppose actually it could work as a little canopy area, but yeah, I don't think it's worked. So just moving on to the finishing touches. As usual, just adding all the lighting, just making it all look pretty from the outside, just adding a few little bushes and trees, and because it's like kind of buried in the ground, just adding a few rocks to make it look a bit natural. So yeah, that is pretty much everything. I've kind of left it a little bit plain for the outside, but I still think it works quite well. So we're just going to go into the screenshots now. Once again, if you have liked what you've seen today, please comment below and let me know. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. I always like to see new little subscribers, and if you let me know, then I can obviously subscribe to your channel as well if you have one. But that is everything for today. I hope you have a peaceful weekend, and thank you and goodbye.